Shri Sai Ram. Welcome children to the Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam. Now today we are going to deal with grammar. All these days I was dealing with the lessons. Now it is the grammar, prepositions. Now there are certain parts of speech, 8 parts of speech in English. Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction and interjection. So these are the 8 parts of speech. Noun, you might be knowing noun. Noun is the name of a place, things or the names of persons. Pronoun is used instead of a noun. She, they, he, all these are pronouns. So you will be knowing all this, the parts of speech, noun, verb also you will be knowing. She rides English. Write is the verb. You had studied all this in your previous classes. Now let us deal with the preposition. Now what is a preposition? Pre means, what is the meaning of pre? Before. Preposition. You have to pronounce it as preposition. Preposition means before the position. Here in preposition, what is here? Pre means before, and so preposition means position before. In English grammar, preposition is a word which comes before a noun or a pronoun to show direction, time, place, location, or to introduce an object. Some examples of prepositions are words like in, at, on, of and to. So these are the words of prepositions in English. And you know that if you are writing good grammar, now we are dealing with grammar, and if you are right, when you write the exam, if grammar is correct, it is like mathematics. You will get full marks for grammar. And it is also a little bit confusing, prepositions. So I ask each and every one of you to speak the language English. It will automatically come to you when you talk the language. Prepositions, without prepositions we cannot talk. It is very, very essential when you talk the language. Now see, these are the 3 prepositions which you have to deal with. Preposition of time, preposition of place and preposition of movement. You might be knowing time when you are asking somebody some time, 10 o'clock or in the afternoon or evening. We have to stick on to the preposition. Without preposition, we will not be able to understand what the speaker tells. Now, first one, the prepositions of time. At, in or on. So these are the prepositions of time. We use at for a precise time. At 7 o'clock, I wake up at 7 o'clock. I go to school at 9 o'clock. So at is to use a precise time. In is used for months, years, centuries and long periods. You use in. In a day, I will be giving you the notes in a day. And centuries also you use in, just before the centuries. On for days and dates. Now let us see where all it is used. It's easy to remember this triangle to know the usage of prepositions. This triangle to know the usage of prepositions. At is used. I've shown you at, on, in. This will be very easy for you. By seeing this, you will be able to understand it more clearly. At used for hours, at 5 p.m., at 12 o'clock, at 7 a.m. Next is on. At is used for specific time. At the top of the pyramid. This is at the top of the pyramid, and on will be at the middle, and at when things are very specific, on when it is less specific, and in it is general. Let us see. At is very specific, on is not that specific, and in is used for general. At is used for the time, at 5 o'clock. I will be there at 5 o'clock. On is used for the days, just before the days. On Friday, I'll be coming there on Friday. Your birthday is on this day. So my birthday, May 7th, 1964. So that is my birthday. So you can say my birthday falls on May 7th, 1964. And you can also say, I will be coming there to meet you on Friday. On should be used for these days, and in should be used for weeks, months, years, decades, and centuries. Is used just before these words, you use in. In 2 weeks. In July, I have joined my school in the month of July, in July. In May, my birthday falls in May. 1970, I was born in 1970. So these types of things are here, but there are certain exceptions. Now English grammar, you can see lot of exceptions are there. Here in 5 minutes, I'll be arriving there in 5 minutes. In the morning, I'll be coming to take the class in the morning. I'll have to go for lunch in the afternoon. At night, I will be going there. So these are some. Now that is what is it? Actually, it is the time. The time we are knowing, prepositions of time. So you might be knowing the pyramid formula also now. Next, we are dealing with the preposition of place. Just see this, the prepositions of place, you can see at, in, on. At is used at college, at home, at reception, at school, and at the bottom of the page. You can use at. And in can be used. Here it is the prepositions of place. So in a taxi, I will be going in a taxi. I'll be going in a car. So in the sky, it is very visible in the sky. In the building or in the tower. In a row. In the newspaper. Today I read, and in the newspaper. You cannot say on the newspaper. Next is on. So it is all saying something about the prepositions of what? Place. On the way. I met him on the way. I was hearing something and it was on the radio. On the page. I wrote something on the page. On a bicycle. He was on a bicycle when I saw him. On a ship. The ship, it was moving and he was on a ship. So, these are the prepositions of place. Next, I have given you the precise time. When it is a precise time, you use at. At 3 o'clock, at 10:30 a.m., at noon, or at dinner time. Next is the prepositions in, which tell something about the months, years, centuries, and long periods. We use in. In May, in summer, then in the summer also we will be using, and in 1990. Days and dates you use on. On Sunday, on Tuesdays, on 6 March, on 25th December 2010. So these are the places where you use in, on and at. At for specific and in for non-specific and on for general. Now here also something, now see, whenever you write something, you go through all the slides that I have given and you will be able to write anything, any prepositions want to be filled in any of the blanks, you can use that. So in at precise time, at it is not in, at precise time, and at bedtime, at sunrise, at sunset, and at the moment. In is used for months, years, centuries and long periods. And in the 1990s, in the next century, in the Ice Age, in the past or future. On is used for on Christmas Day, on Independence Day, on my birthday, on New Year's Eve. So, these are the things. At will be used with hours. Hours will be used only at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, at 9 o'clock. Hours can be used. The preposition used with hours is at. Hours, parts of the day, the moment, holidays without day. Then specific address, hotels, midnight. At midnight, I will be going for dinner at midnight. So all this you can use at. Next comes, we say at, now the examples of this, we say at 5 p.m. That is about the hours. At 5 p.m. Parts of the day, at noon. I will be having my lunch at noon. Then the moment, at midnight. Today I will be coming home at midnight. Next, at the moment. Next is holidays, at Easter. We will be coming to meet you at Easter. At New Year. I will be coming to meet you at New Year. Specific location, at the station, at the airport, at school. I will come there to your school, or we shall meet at school. Okay? Have you understood? Next one. The on is used for little more broader concepts, general. We said in the pyramid that it is for general. So on is used more broader concepts like one day, one date, streets, avenues, surfaces, means of transport, communication, etc. On. We say on Monday, on New Year Day. Only when there is day you use on New Year Day. Otherwise, it is at New Year. When the New Year is followed by day, you have to use on New Year Day. I will be meeting you on New Year Day. There is a function on New Year Day. Suppose the day is not there, then you will have to use at. I shall meet you at New Year. Or on SK Street. When there is a street or avenues, streets, you use on SK Street. On the table, etc. I hope you must have understood all this. It is all taken very fast, but you have to understand it. And I have always told you to speak the language. English is a global language. Wherever you go, you can survive there with the global language, international language. It is English. I came here, I am from Kerala and have come here, but I don't know Kannada. But I am surviving here with English. So if you know English, you can survive anywhere in this world. So speak the language and come up in your language, English language. In. In is used in general. So we were talking about at, on and in. In is used general for bigger concepts. So it is placed down in the triangle. The triangle that you had seen, it is placed down. Which is the one which is given the first rank? At. Next comes on. Then comes in. Now we are dealing with in. At, on, in that pyramid. So the least important is in. In is used general for bigger concepts. So it is placed down in the pyramid, triangle, very broadly. It is used for months, seasons, year, decades, or a long period of time. In is also used for cities. Now rather than that, we are using in for cities also. Like we say, now cities we are using in Trivandrum. So we can use that in Karnataka. We can use in just before these cities. We say in July, in summer, in the summer is also used, in the 1980s, in the past, in the future, in 2020, etc. We use in. If it is paper, and on if it is an electronic gadget. So if you are writing, you please write in the paper. We will say, the pen is kept in the paper. It is about the paper we are talking. So in the paper, on if it is an electronic gadget, like on the laptop, on the mobile, you will be using on only just before the electronic gadget. Now next is in a book, on the phone, in a magazine, on my laptop. So whenever it is concerned with paper or electronic gadget, you will be using on. Electronic gadget you use on. In an email, even though it is an electronic gadget, in an email we will be sending the email through the electronic gadget. So is a letter, so we use in though it is done using a gadget. There we are using in an email. Is it clear to you? Next one, we are dealing with preposition of movement. Prepositions of movement show movement from one place to another place. These prepositions always describe movement and we usually use them with verbs of motion, verbs of movement. The most common preposition of movement is the preposition to. So when it is the preposition of movement, we use to. That is the most important preposition of movement, which describes movement in the direction of something. For example, how do you go to work? Some people will say, how do you go for work? Which is wrong English. How do you go to work? So, anything regarding the movement, the most important preposition that is used is to. Prepositions of movement. Now this is all moving. So he threw the ball across the court. Now they drove along the road. Along is used here. It is a preposition of movement. This is across is also a preposition of movement. The money flew out of the window means out of. It is also out of is also a preposition of movement. Next one, the cow jumped over the moon. That is also, over is also preposition of movement. Next you can see towards the planet, towards. It is also the meteor was heading towards the planet. So these are all the prepositions of movement. Now these are the prepositions of movement: in front, around, over, on, in. On and in are coming in many places. Not only the movement but many other places. Place also it comes. So movement also it comes, time also, sometime time it is not there, but on, in, down, from, behind, next to, into, out of, between, under, through, inside. These are the prepositions of movement. Now you can see across, around, away from, down, into, off, onto. Now what is the difference between off and off? He went off. He went off means going off. Off is used for something. He was going, I bought the paper and it was made of very thin. It was very thin. It was, I bought something which was made of. It is there, you cannot use OFF. OFF means it's off, going. Out, over, past, through, toward, under, up. So these are the prepositions of movement. Now here you can see prepositions of movement. Again, you must know many things, many movement words, prepositions. Preposition to. It is used to indicate a destination or direction. The boys go to school in groups. Next is towards. In the direction of someone or something. She pushed her face towards him. So, in the direction of something. Through is a movement from one side to another, but in something, such as long grass or a forest. Through. David walked slowly through the woods. Woods here means the forest. Into. Movement of something, usually with a verb that expresses movement. Don't put new wine into old bottles. Putting new wine into old bottles, it is also something we use, it's an idiom. Putting new wine into old bottles. Here you can see another one, over. Movement at a higher level than something else, that is over, moving over. So he jumped over the wall because a movement is taking place. All these are the movement words, prepositions. Across, movement from one side of something to the opposite side of a road or a river. The truck skidded sideways across the road. Next one, along, movement of something in a line that follows the side of something long, very long on the side. You say along. We went for a walk along the beach at twilight. Means the beach side we were walking. From, the place where someone or something starts. That is from. What time does the flight from Korea arrive? Next, around. Movements in circles or from one place to another. So, circles. Her hair whipped around her face in the wind. It is coming across the face. Around the face. You can say it is across is wrong. Around the face. Onto. Movement to a position on a surface. I slipped as I stepped onto the platform. Onto. That is movement to a position on a surface. Next one, up. Movement to a higher position. She doesn't like riding her bike up these hills. Movement going upwards. Down indicates a lower position. It's easier to run down the hill than go up. Now next is the last one, preposition of place. Prepositions of place also you can see on a bus, on the way, on the left, on the right, on a ship, on a plane, then on a television on the second floor. In is in a car, you are saying something inside, in the newspaper, in a lift, in a boat, in a helicopter, in the bathroom, in Paris, in the world, in the kitchen. So these are the prepositions of place, at the side, at the top, at the reception, at university, at work, at home, at the door, at a corner, or concert, at the dinner, Under a tree, under is coming. So these are the prepositions of place. Now there are certain assignments. 2 assignments I have given you and you have to do it as homework. These are the assignments that I have given. Assignment 1 and assignment 2. You have to do it. Now a little more about preposition. Because if I don't say about this, if I am not able to say this, then the preposition is not complete. Here it is, beside and besides. This often comes to the children for the exam. Beside and besides. Now beside and besides are totally different words. Besides is not the plural of beside. Children think that beside means and besides means they are the same word. It is not like that. It has got different meanings. Beside is, it shows the location of something. At the side of, beside, without yes. Beside means at the next, sitting next to, or standing next to, or parking next to. You can say beside, at the side of, or next to. I like to sit beside my sister. I like to sit beside my sister. That means I like to sit near to my sister. At the side is the meaning of beside. There is a beautiful house beside the lake. Means next to the lake. Near the lake there is a beautiful house beside the lake. At the side of the lake. When she lost her mother, she was beside her. Now when her mother had died, when the mother died, the daughter was beside her, means near her or at the side of her. Here beside means contained or close to oneself, beside her. Is it clear to you? Now we are going to learn something about besides. Besides means in addition to, or as well, or other than. Besides what you said, we must listen to her also. See what she said. Besides listening to her, we have to listen to her also. Besides means in addition to, in addition to what you said, we must listen to her also. In addition to your conversation with me, I have to listen to her also. In addition. What are you learning besides English? In addition to English, what other subjects you are learning? Besides Ram, everyone liked the idea. Means, except Ram, others liked the idea. Besides Ram means except Ram. In addition to, besides Ram means it is actually as well as Ram also liked the idea. So besides Ram, everyone liked the idea. Ram also liked the idea. Everybody liked the idea. Samir came for the interview badly dressed besides being late. In addition to that, he was also late. So that is the meaning. Interview badly dressed. He was badly dressed when he came for the interview. In addition to that, he was late. Note the difference in the same sentences. Can you see anything beside the car? Beside the car. Here, there is no yes. Can you see anything beside the car? Means it is near the car, next to the car. Can you see anything? Can you see anything besides the car? Here, besides means in addition to the car. Can you see anything else? Near anything else? Because other than the car, can you see anything? In addition to the car, can you see anything there? So that is the meaning of besides. And that is the difference between beside and besides. Is it clear now? Next one. So besides and beside, you must have understood it. What is the meaning of beside? Beside means next to, and besides means in addition to. Now we have to read something on along, among, amongst, between. Here, along means moving on the same side as the other. We have taken it in one of the grammar portion, the movement. In the evenings, we walk along the river, means the side to that river we were walking. I walked along the road. The road is there. At the side of the road, I was walking through the road. Among, being part of others, situated more or less centrally in relation to several other things. There are more than two things and the number is known. So, when there are more than two things and the number is known, you use among. I was among 50 people. You can say I was among 50 people. Amongst, there is a difference between among and amongst. They say that. But let us see what is the difference. Amongst, meaning is same as among. It has got the same meaning as among, but you don't know the number. I was amongst the crowd. But when the number is not known, you can also use I was amongst the crowd. Among will be used when you know the number, but amongst will be used when there is no number, when there are lot of people, when there is a crowd. I was amongst in the crowd. Amongst the crowd. Which mobile will you choose amongst these? Lot of mobiles are there. Which mobile will you choose amongst the mobiles? You can use both words. Now they say that both the words can be used here, amongst and among. Amongst is an old usage. It comes in the British English, whereas in American English, among is used. Among is used in American English and among is used even now. But amongst is a very old word and it is an old usage. Between will be used only with two, when there are two people. When we talk about two things only, we use between. I said between Nanda and Devna. There is difference of opinion between Suma, Vijaya and Ranjini. We can say that. There you can use, even there are more than two people, you can use between. Why? Here we use between because we see the three as individuals, whereas it would be there is difference of opinion among the friends. Difference of opinion among the friends. Lot of friends are there and there is also the difference of opinion. Here also there is a difference of opinion only 3%. So you can use there even between is also used. Note the difference. Prem walked among the trees. Here he is just walking and perhaps is not following a definite path. He is walking among the trees. Along that side, he is walking that way, this side, among the trees. Prem walked between three trees. Here, Prem is walking through a path. When it is said between the trees, he is walking between three trees, means that trees are being mentioned here. Only three trees and he is walking between them. That's all for today now. Thank you very much for hearing it. Sai Ram.